I want to read you what Chris Rufo tweeted. He said, unpopular opinion, the obsession with Klaus Schwab, Davos, and the World Economic Forum is misguided as they have little real power over life in America. It's also enervating as it shifts the locus of control to faraway figures, while constructive action can be taken at home. Stay focused, he said. He says, I want the political right to be effective, and the focus on the World Economic Forum is a distraction and an inferiority complex. If instead of the World Economic Forum, we focused on civil service reform, institutional governance, anti-ESG legislation, and higher education reform, we'd be much better off. The big problems in the US, declining labor force participation, family breakdown, social autonomization, drug overdoses, institutional capture, racialist and gender ideologies, collapse of social trust, are not because of Klaus Schwab. There are problems and need our solutions. So I almost could not disagree more with this. Again, it's a respectful disagreement. This is what we do in the conservative movement. We actually bring our ideas to the public forum and debate them publicly, because we are not we're not scaredy cats like the left to actually have a debate here. So this is what I'll say. Some of the things that Chris Rufo mentioned are a result of the ideology that Klaus Schwab is indoctrinating the attendees at his conference with, and then deputizing them to disseminate all around the world into some of these very institutions that Chris talks about here. Now, I do agree with Chris that a lot of the action that we need to take here is not trying to ban Klaus Schwab. The action that we need to take is shoring up our institutions so that Klaus Schwab's ideology cannot be infiltrated into them, cannot be embedded into them. But the two things are intricately related. And I want to walk you through my thought process on exactly how I came to this conclusion, so that you understand that I'm not just being a contrarian here, that this is a very important part of, what do I always say? If we don't properly acknowledge the reality of the political enemy that we face, then we won't fight well against it. If we don't fight well against it, we won't win, and I want to win. So we have to properly understand what we're facing here. And it's not just that each of these institutions in our nation that Chris Rufo mentions independently corrupted. They were infiltrated with something by an ideology, a shared ideology that was pushed upon them by, yes, higher forces. I know some people say, oh, that sounds really conspiracy. If you act like, there's globalists who are trying to control every country, even countries that aren't their own country, but you don't have to look too far to see concrete examples of this that aren't conspiracy theories. I mean, the UN, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, of course, is also an example of this.